For today's video, we are going to go with Gwent, and we are going to show the overpoweredness of the Skellige starter deck. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But we are going to run Patriarchal Fury with this, because Patriarchal Fury highly boosts our chances of winning a second round, especially due to the low card count of the opponent. So we want to get rid of things that are how do I say this? Not useful. The ship is one of them. Her. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is drop out bait. If you can get 2 long ships out, on-crate long ships, that'd be good. Do not put out your tactical advantage until you need it, and you're sure that they don't have any more that can get rid of 9 or higher cards. So we're gonna pass. Now the nice thing about this deck is that it can keep the heat on. Even though it is not always a large amount of damage, it is still a pretty decent amount. And if you keep it on them, then you'd be good. So now, I can use this since the deck isn't focusing on damage. Now I am playing against a bot, but this is just for video purposes. I will play this online and upload a couple of videos of showing how this can really hurt other decks. Now this deck's only weakness that I've played against is decks that are high in tactic cards. So what we're going to try and do, the idea behind of using this deck is to try and win your first round without using the Patriarchal Fury, which this deck is very high chance of winning. So what we're going to do, save anything that has Bloodthirst on it until you can actually properly use it.
We'll follow you always into the fair.
Okay. Hate to waste that with Bloodthirst, but it's what we gotta do. Okay, so we're going to use this guy. Got the Bloodthirst too. And turn and pass. Now he's gonna have a card advantage. I think it's actually gonna be a 2-card advantage, actually, now that I think about it. But we almost have a guaranteed win on this. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do, use our Patriarchal Fury.
Wanna know why I got my star?
And usually I like to drop this guy because he will be also 11 power after you use your Patriarchal Fury. And the way that you can play this once that you use your Patriarchal Fury is you can either play high amounts of power or you can do high amounts of damage. Now it is good to have a couple of units that are meant purely for, like for instance this one is meant for staying on the field. Now since they have a 12 power there that they just spawned in, we're going to want to start dealing a lot of damage to that. So we're going to use something, because this guy is mainly, I'd reserve him for once they have several damaged enemies, because then you can just knock something completely off the board. So we're going to use this.
To me.
Behendo's axe!
See, he was just a 12 power a turn or two ago, and now I've already got him down to 4 with a couple of cards. And since we have no more Death Wish, then you can start throwing out random damage cards. See, if I would have done that early game, I would have lost some of my power and my hit on my stuff. But now that I don't have any more cards like that, and again, this is a bot, most of the people would have kept fighting because, you know, then I'd get the win. But you see here how I'm already 10 plus points above them. See, 12 points. It is a very overpowered deck for a starter deck. Now you can tweak this a little bit, remove some cards, throw some more useful ones in, that way you don't have to worry about redrawing. On my mobile version, I have a very tweaked version of the deck due to Gwent on the console not being supported anymore. You can still play online, can still get your cards, build decks, but there's no new stuff being put into it. But this is how the Skellige starter deck is overpowered.